Hello and welcome back to Ravenwood Acres. Today we're going to be talking about the Nourished Essentials combination or starter fermenting kit, Easy Fermenter, or what they call the Easy Fermenter. Currently the combo kit is not available on Amazon. However, you can piece them together, and we'll talk that here in a second. But the combo kit comes with 3 lids, these venting lids, 3 glass weights, I know, and I have 2 in front of you, and a vacuum pump thing to remove oxygen. So I purchased the combo kit back in 2018. In fact, it was a gift. Wife got it for me, and because I mentioned I wanted to start trying to learn how to do fermenting. It seemed like a good way to get started, and I totally agree. It's a great kit to learn the basics with and expand from there, because I'm still doing that. So you can, however, since then I bought, here's the lids. Now I mistook this when I wasn't paying attention on Amazon. You bought for $25.95 these 3 lids. I thought it also came with the weights. It came with another vacuum pump. It's actually a little smaller than this design. Similar concept, but no weights. So my shortage really was in weights, because if you've done any fermenting, especially on things like sauerkraut, you got to keep the cabbage, below the fluid line, so you don't get any mold or rot on the if you keep it basically out of oxygen, and then this course helps with that. I found I initially wasn't 100% sure if I even need it, because there's other kits out there that don't come with that, and then I'd read other things where no one had mentioned anything like that. I don't think it's required. I think it's kind of a it's nice to have, I guess, is a good way to put it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the couple other features. Obviously, they come with this little dial here that you can adjust to set the date that you start, which is great. You don't have to write it down in a book or anything, unless you want to journal how your recipes and how you do how you prepared each ferment, so that you can kind of, once you get one down that you really like I'll share mine here in a little bit. One that I just did that I kind of pieced together off some other people's ideas, and I really like it. But either way, like I said, that makes it nice. You set the date, helps you keep track of how many days it's been fermenting. They have this vent here, basically allows the gases to vent off, so there's no need to loosen the lid or anything like that. It's different than the airlock style, maybe not as good, I don't know. There's probably some people out there that would argue otherwise, but if you notice here, I damaged this one what I was trying to do is I was trying to get these lids off. They can get really stuck on jars, and so initially, after I broke that, I was like, okay, I got to do something different. What I ended up actually doing is taking a pot, putting it on the stove top, and bringing water, just a little bit, about an inch or so water, up to a boil. I dipped this down into just enough to basically submerge the plastic part in the boiling, just not actually even letting it sit on the bottom, just in case, I didn't want to melt anything. And just for, a few seconds to get the plastic hot, which using the whole thermal expansion, it expands, and I was able to get the lid off. Just a tip there if you ever end up in that situation. And then since then, I do use now a little bit of coconut oil. You could use, any sort of other types of oils. I'm sure it would be fine. And I put a little bit on the gasket, and then a little bit on the threads, and I have not had any issues getting my lids off after I'm done fermenting. So, okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the one recipe I really like, and just why I think you should do
notes there for fermenting, right? The kit is awesome. I think if you're going to get started and you want to ferment, then this is a good kit to get started with. I have not tried other kits. I grew up with grandparents and you know, family that did the putting like pickles in a brine, you know, and then just putting them in a crock and doing that. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. As I mentioned, I got the kit back in 2018. I did like 2 batches. I think I tried to get a little too crazy with ingredients at first, and you know, I wasn't a huge fan of the flavor that I did with the first sauerkrauts that I did. Since I've started these batches of this purple cabbage, and I'll talk the recipe once I said here in a minute. It's wow, it's really good. I eat some usually every single day with one of my meals, and I'm loving it. I also fermented some garlic cloves in honey, and that has turned out outstanding. I've started a 7-day process with that, where you take 1 clove basically, and they're not full cloves because they were pre-peeled and they were cut up a little bit. When I just bought a bag of them at the store. It was an easy button, and put them in honey. They've been in there for over 2 weeks now, and we'll keep them going. It's about 19 days now that they've been in there. So a spoonful of honey with one of those cloves every day. It's supposed to be really good for you. So I'm doing that, and then you know, the point is, if you're going to start, just like with your prepping, don't store things you don't eat. You know, make things that you're going to eat, that your family's going to eat. Because if you make a huge batch of sauerkraut and you're the only one in your family who eats it, and this is not huge, you know, you start doing huge, you're working into the crocks, and I haven't gotten there. I am fortunate that 3 of us out of my family will currently eat sauerkraut. Now I might be able to get some of them. This recipe is really good. This is purple cabbage, ginger, carrot, and apple. So all of it's kind of diced differently. The one thing I would change about the ginger is ginger gives it a great flavor. I like it. Fermented ginger is good, but it's still strong like ginger is. And I would do much thinner or just tiny, you know, into like just tiny little bits. That way when you got a little bit, you just get a little spike of flavor, and you know, not the, it really intense. You get a full, because they were diced up or sliced up fairly big ginger. It's pretty strong. So take your breath away a little bit. So that would be my recommendation there. If I can find the video, I believe it was a YouTube video that I found, and I might have even modified the recipe a little bit, and that's the fun part about this. You can have fun with it. It's a skill you can learn no matter where you are before you get on a homestead, because like I said, 2018, but when you live on a homestead, you're a part-time homesteader, you have a job, your wife has a job, you got kids and things going on in life. You have a lot of intentions to do things and learn things, but sometimes you run out of time. And since I've been here in this apartment in South Korea, I've got a lot of time on my hands, and I go a little stir crazy because I can't be out on Ravenwood Acres working and, you know, building fences and, you know, doing projects around the property. So I'm taking that time to learn stuff like this. So make the most of it, folks. It's what this channel is all about, and I hope you appreciate it. Hey, we also got a website up and running now. It's not 100% product yet. I'm still kind of working with how because I'm doing all the work on it, and I've never done this before, but it looks okay right now. I kind of like it, but it's more kind of a landing page for this YouTube channel. At this point, I'm trying to get some more content over there, and it'll develop so that all those links will be down below. My other social media links are down below. If you've watched this long, I really hope you found this useful, and you hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and have a great day.